starting to realise that all of these GMC videos seem to just be built up of extensive travel montages, and I think this time maybe we should have a little bit more footage of the boat. So instead of chucking out 6 minutes of me on my way to Chatham, I've actually just pulled over about 20 minutes away from the historic Chatham Maritime Marina where Christian's waiting for me at Turks Boat Yard. And I promise that this time we're just gonna go straight in to some lovely, lovely footage of the boat being cut, welded, plated, beaten, battered, bruised, and all of that brilliant stuff. So from here to Turks, here we go. So I'm here at Chatham Docks, Chatham Historic Dockyard, Turks Boat Yard, where our boat is. I can see it right in front of us. I can hear Flashdance playing in the background, and I'm kind of hoping that Christian's going to emerge in a leotard and we can pull a bucket of water over his head like the music video. Here we go. Wow, there it is, my God. Right, you're going to get a load of boat action now, boat fans, so here we go. Whoa. Christian?
Hey, buddy.
Is that you?
That's me.
I'm by the big hole.
Hey, buddy.
Whoa.
This whole space is one big obstacle course. Hey, bud. So I reckon another couple of weeks and we'll be ready to paint the hull. I think all the welding would have been done, all the prep would have been done. And at that point, I think the hull can be painted. I think they're quite keen on bringing another boat in at some point, which means this needs to be floated. So yeah, I think we can stay here, but the hull needs to be painted before they can open those doors and let the Medway River in.
And we want to paint it using the Pantone colour of the design. That's possible, yeah?
Yeah, as close as.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's industrial paint, so there's quite a lot of there are a lot of colour samples, and we can get really, really close to the palette that we chose for GMC. So I mean, our plan was to extend this. You can see, so I've lost my voice a little bit this week. You can see where this line is the deck plate welded onto the back plate. And what we would quite like to do is to follow the curve of the side of the boat. But obviously that's not priority. So at the moment I'm just pushing kind of the things that we definitely need to do before we do anything else. What we could do is just follow the top bit to create a sort of bit of a platform, but not continue it down all the way to here. Because essentially once you change the profile of the boat on the waterline, you then need to get the architect to have a look at it, because it kind of changes the stability of the boat in the water. And kind of curving round, it means that we'd be able to extend the back by at least a metre, probably a bit more, and we could have like a little hatch door that opens up and a ladder to climb up. So this could be like, the bathing platform. So you have a little bit of a hinged platform that comes down with a little ladder
Jet ski.
to the top, and a jet ski, obviously.
So can you explain that again, Christian? How does a propeller work?
Propeller needs to be submerged in the water.
In the water?
In the water.
No.
Yeah, and it has, I think, works with, I don't know, it's cavitation.
What?
No, cavitation is...
Kevin Spacey?
cavitation.
Decapitation? I don't know what's going on. There's Herman down there.
Have you met Herman yet?
I've not, no.
Okay. Yeah, so this compartment is the skipper's quarters, and on all 4 windows in here are kind of opening porthole windows. They're all stuck, and then they're sealed shut, so we need to kind of open them up and lubricate them and make sure they open smoothly. But Nick, who is working on the boat in front of ours, who's got loads of stuff in storage here, said he's got a couple of really big, nice brass porthole windows that open completely. So I'm thinking
for the captain's quarters.
For the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Or for the
none
cabin.
of us will be in, of course, but
No.
just saying hi.
I thought we'd be captains.
You throw them overboard halfway around.
Yeah.
So you may remember, viewers, we got our fundraising video was Paul standing over there talking to me sitting on here, and we're now, that's a completely gutted captain's quarters. Amazing, look at that.
I'm going to take that floor up today.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have a proper look under there.
amazing.
There's a really big panel that needs cutting out and replacing. It's 4 meters long underneath. So at some point, if you want, we'll go downstairs at ground level and we'll have a bit of a walk around, and you'll see where Elliot, the surveyor, has kind of marked all the bits that need doing. That entire section has to be cut out, apparently.
All those little lines there on the side of the boat that are like chalked down. The whole thing.
We'll see it better from down below.
So that's a 4 meter.
Like more or less a 4 meter section that needs cutting out, apparently.
Ouchie.
Ouchie.
How much is the steel a meter to put in?
I don't know,
for
it's
the material.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Steel's. I mean, it's gone up obviously in price, but it's not really. Particularly big in cost. The cost is the.
It's the labour.
It's the labour.
Yeah. How much is it a day?
So Herman's on about 56 quid an hour.
56 quid an hour?
Yeah.
I need to become a welder. That's badass.
That is badass. So.
And that's what he's on.
That's what he's on.
And there's a markup on top of that.
To be honest, I'm not sure. There's obviously, while he's working, we've got daily rates for the mooring. We've got daily electrical rates. We've got his rates. We've got consumables. So every day he's working, it's kind of we're racking up big costs, but it's got to be done. And once all this big labour's done, we'll know for sure that she can float for years to come.
When
without
they open the door. Do we get a refund if they open the door and she just sinks?
Well, there are no doors on her. There are hatches.
Yeah, but there are holes.
Holes. If there are holes, I mean,
I think it's probably fair play.
probably, yeah.
Turks is regarded as one of the best boat building yards in the country.
Yeah, they are.
So.
Boat repair yards. The boat was built with 50mm plate, and pretty much everywhere it's 50mm. And there's a 47 there, not 50mm, 5mm, but he writes that down in kind of like microns. Not microns.
5mm.
That's-
5mm
yeah,
steel,
so
so
where it
that's...
Where it says 50,
he
it
writes
means
in
5mm.
microns. Okay, microns. So
Is it microns?
Like, not millimeters would be... It's 5 millimeters.
A tenth. That's
But a tenth of
a
that.
tenth of that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
like a millimeter is to a centimetre, a micron is to a millimetre.
okay, something like that.
Okay, cool.
So
I got a B at Maths GCSE.
did you?
I couldn't get an A because I did intermediate. So essentially, I got the top mark.
That's what yeah, nice. Yeah, pure maths is what fucks me.
Yeah.
I got 98% of mechanics and then like 30% of pure maths.
Well, there's a brain. There is a brain in there.
Of course. we've got really good readings in pretty much in most places.
So that's 50. That's as it was when it was put in.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
2 microns below, 47, 50, 50, 50.
So all that's fine. There's for example here, all this pitting here. Herman said, he can just fill that with weld. So essentially, rather than putting the plate over, he'll just go around and just kind of keep on, weld.
Because you don't want to overplate, do you? Because if you overplate, the rust is behind it.
Exactly.
And
And then a few years time. Exactly.
Years,
Yeah. So that's what we don't want.
Cool.
There's a hole there, so that's part of the section that needs to be cut out.
Yeah.
And you can see, it's all of that section basically that Elliot said was pretty long, loads and loads of holes.
Yeah, the keel's in quite good nick.
The keel and the plate above the keel is 10 mil thick.
I say it's double thickness.
Double
compared to the
thickness,
rest of
yeah,
it.
double this.
And is the keel hollow? Because you fill it with ballast, don't you?
Yeah, this one was filled with cast iron. I don't know
iron.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I remember the story from Lauren Giles when we got on the phone with Stephen from Lauren Giles. He said that the boat builders hadn't built a boat before or something, and they
hadn't built a boat this shape and size before,
and they filled it with sand, and they had to dig it all out again.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, and then they filled it with cast iron. I mean, I don't know what kind of cast iron, whether it was poured, hot, molten
cast iron. So it's basically solid.
No. I said I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Whether it was that or whether it was loads of little clumps.
Wouldn't that
of
melt
cast
the
iron.
steel if you pour molten iron into it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not a metal worker in the slightest. So stick our head in this side of the captain's quarters.
So as you can see, where all those holes are underneath, I just pointed out.
You need to get that floor up.
It's below there. So that's what I was doing when you arrived. Is bringing up all the floor in the bathroom.
Gotcha.
So in here isn't too bad. It needs obviously completely stripping. We don't want any of this rust. So once all that floor's up, I'll go around with a dustpan and brush and tidy up a bit, and then basically with a what are they called? An air chisel. It's basically a chisel that you plug into.
Yeah, we did a reel with one, didn't we?
We did. I'll go around and knock off any kind of like chunky bits of rust that are flaking off. And then, I mean, pretty much a bit of wire brush, but then the epoxy, the Uton epoxy that they put on the boat apparently is so good, it'll stop it from rusting.
People are going to think you're either really tall or I'm really short because I always film from down here. So let's bring it up. This is Charles' eye height.
Yeah.
That's my eye height there.
Yeah. There we are. And then spot welding.
Nice. And this stuff here, they're basically like rudimentary girders that we're going to be...
This angle iron.
Angle iron, they call it.
So we're going to use that to put the floor in the new floor in. So you'll see when we go in there, all of the angle iron that's there at the moment is all completely all over the place. I mean, it's so rotten.
Yeah.
Because it was all under the floorboards. And so all the bilges had all the moisture on a hot day that would kind of, that evaporate a little bit. But all that moisture would stay under the floorboards. So
how are we going to mitigate that this time so that the moisture doesn't end up under them?
Empty the bilges more frequently.
Would cork help?
Cork
I say we put cork in as insulation in Portugal because it's completely fireproof.
Yeah.
And it's really, really thermal. It has a lot of thermal qualities. So when it's hot outside, it keeps it cool.
We get the boat down to Portugal when it comes to doing the insulation.
Yeah, I mean it might be easier just to import cork, but maybe every time I come back I put a sheet in my hand
a suitcase full of cork.
Yeah, and sometime in 2056 I'll have enough cork to do the boat deck.
Exactly. Do you want a coffee?
Yeah, I'd love a coffee.
So this is our new bulkhead door that Nick has kindly given us. I'm obviously going to give him some money for it. He's also a guy that's got two really nice big brass porthole windows that he pulled off a tug that was being scrapped. So those are the ones we're going to put
in the
galley.
Quarters. Yeah, in the galley, not the captain's
in the galley, because that's where we're going to spend most time. So we want as much light and air in that space where we're going to be kind of, spending the most time together. What we do need to do, so that one day, maybe we could do if we wanted to, is put another bulkhead in. And so essentially the coding has slightly changed since the boat was launched in 1986. And it's a bit more, very much more stringent now. And essentially, in front of where the two toilets are, ahead of the galley, that's where we need to put a new bulkhead, and like a steel bulkhead that essentially will act as a cloison in French.
I love how you think in French.
I do sometimes. I have to replace certain words from English into French and vice versa. But essentially, it needs a completely watertight bulkhead, and this is a completely watertight bulkhead door with a spider mechanism, which is what we found on submarines.
Mm-hmm. I know the one. Yeah.
So essentially, you activate one handle, and all the levers activate at the same time.
Like a safe.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this off and use it as a template from when we put the new sheets in, and then all of these bolts all around I'm going to do in brass. So that you'll have really cool, big, chunky brass bolts holding the whole door together. Maybe paint this in like a nice grey, or it could even be the blue that we're using with our logo on it. But I mean, all of this will be nice and polished, and it'll look great. Gaddies there. The toilets I think are about here. So basically, more or less in line with it's just behind where the main mast goes. And obviously, the main mast is where a lot of pressure and forces are acting on the boat. So if we had a sealed bulkhead there, it would also give the whole thing much more rigidity and structural support.
Okay, cool.
So there's a really big patch below the boat of about 3.5 meters long.
Yeah.
That's been flagged for cutting out and essentially splicing in a new piece. And we're only really going to know if we have to do that, or if we can just patch it up in it with smaller sections once we remove all of that bathroom, because the patch itself is below that and adjacent to the diesel tanks, which are here. They're on both sides actually. There are 2 tanks there and 2 tanks under the kitchen and kind of aft. So yeah, one of the things I think we quite like to do, because it's quite a nice stainless steel kitchen, is retain this, which is why I haven't chopped it up. I removed the 2 pillars, that one there, which is why it's probably not a good idea to maybe stand and put too much weight on the deck at the moment, because we want to shift this forward so we can rip up the floor and ascertain whether there's any work to be done under there, because there are a few little micro holes.
I do quite like the idea of an open plan kitchen with an island.
Yeah, so
and
I
some
was
beveled metro tiles. Get some nice darker colours low down, brighter colours to because in a small space you want to have dark low down and bright.
I was just going to keep it stainless steel.
Yeah, you know where I learned that?
No.
Bobby from Queer Eye. It's a great TV show.
Queer Eye for a Straight Guy.
Queer Eye More Than a Makeover. Queer Eye for Straight Guy was the original one. Queer Eye More Than a Makeover is the remake. Unfortunately, Bobby's not in the new series, but he's been usurped by a guy called Jeremiah, who is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
So we want to. So what are your thoughts on the kitchen then? Keep.
I'm all for recycling, provided we can integrate it and it looks super lovely and sharp and fresh.
Because it also has those 2 compartments there, 3 compartments, sorry, are built-in fridges.
So those down there, they're all
taking the panels out, but they're all built-in fridges. So all we need to do is maybe renew the compressor, because I ripped it out and it was dead. But buy a new compressor for it, and we've got built-in refrigeration. So I think, it would probably cost about 10 grand to have this made.
Really, that much?
Yeah. All stainless steel, like TIG welded together.
So, unless you are a commercial nautical kitchen supplier and you're watching this and you'd like to have your name on a plaque on the boat for people who are part of making the GMC happen, let us know.
Let us know. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep this intact and just slide it forward when we need to do work to the structure beneath it. So, as you might be able to just see if you follow this stick, there is a hole, and that was poked through from outside.
Right at the end of there.
Yeah, that little hole there.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And that is the...
that was poked through during this restoration.
Yeah, from underneath, when Elliot was going around with his little hammer, sort of, poking around to see what the hull was doing. That was poked through, and all of a sudden, all of the water from the this is the fresh water tanks. So all of that drained, and there were a couple of other spots that looked like they could be the beginning of holes forming. But the tanks are in really good condition. I lifted this one as well, and it's exactly the same thing. So we're lucky in the sense that the tanks can be reused. We haven't got to rip them apart and start again, and that hole can be plugged from below. We'll make a bigger hole to get rid of any kind of oxidation, and then we'll sort of plug that with weld, and then that'll be fine. It means it's like food safe.
Food safe?
Yeah, or water safe. Water
safe.
Yeah. So what we don't want is to coat that with like a really toxic kind of paint which sheds. Do you
know what the difference is between dishwasher proof and dishwasher safe?
No.
Dishwasher proof is something that you can put in your dishwasher and the dishwasher won't break it.
Oh, yeah.
Dishwasher safe is something that you put in your dishwasher and it won't break the dishwasher, but it might break itself. So just a word to the wife there.
Wise, yeah.
Anyone buying a whole set of dishwasher safe plates, it doesn't mean your dishwasher won't break your plates.
So see there, there's
People are thinking, I really want to invite that Charles guy to my next dinner party. He sounds really interesting.
yeah. But we're going to have a dinner party on here.
Yeah.
For the launch day.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be our dinner party, so I can invite who I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and, all of us get to. Who would you invite to your dinner party? Anyone, dead or alive?
Manly Palmer Hall, who's arguably the sort of the best philosopher of our time. He set up the Theosophical Society in Los Angeles back in the 20s, when he was in his 20s. Wrote a book called, amongst dozens of others, called The Secret Teachings of All the Ages. Basically one of the most kind of well-read, interesting and cultured guy there was of our generation. So he'd be one, and then potentially bring back Robin Williams. She's such a dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolute legend. Rest in peace, Robin.
Rest in peace. Yeah. So all this going to go. All these going to go. I'll get those out maybe tomorrow. And I was being really precious with the timber initially, trying to kind of break them down the way they went in, the way they were assembled. Because I'm a firm believer of reusing and recycling or upcycling as much timber as humanly possible. But we're not going to reuse these. If I cut them up neatly, we can maybe use some of the panels as templates if we need to cut steels out. But I think we need to get rid of everything. Get it back down to...
Because we want this to all be nice and bright and breezy with some really nice, intelligent lighting, down lighting, up lighting, making the whole place. Like, it would be really great to build some sort of nooks around the floor and around up here on the edge, where you have the LED, that high quality waterproof LED strip lighting that they put outside that has an opaque cover on it and a bit of wood, so you can't see it, but it basically floods warm light, and you interchangeable, so you can have a disco, but warm light down the inside and up the walls as well. On a dimmer,
And this whole front section could just be one massive pillow room.
Ball pit, did you say?
Ball pit.
A ball pit. Lockie stag do. Jamie Fraser bought 20,000 plastic balls. He spent the entire stag budget on balls, bar about 100 quid. Forgot to get transport for the stag to get from London to Edinburgh, so I had to drive him and forgot to get the sound system, so I had to drive that as well.
Historically, there were 4 berths in here.
4 or
2, 2 on each side.
Yeah. And that's a pretty comfortable amount of space, to be honest, in here. We could still do that.
There weren't any berths in the front. That was all chain lockers and various kind of storage compartments. So again, potentially we could actually put these need cutting out, because you can see at the base of them they're completely rotten on both sides. So these are no longer structural supports. So maybe it's actually that we put the new bulkhead here, and that new bulkhead door I showed you outside
sits there, and then you keep all the chain block and tackle and everything in there.
And that's completely sealed, and essentially that's the forward section of the boat, which is
the naughty room.
The naughty room, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space all back here. And obviously we need space, compartment space for rope, buoys, chain, spare anchor, that's where that was, and various other bits of equipment. But I'm thinking that we could potentially reimagine some of the space and make better use of it, open it up. I think I want to get this floor up because it's been soaking up, water and moisture all these years, and it's really manky.
Yeah, I mean, I think as we've spoken about it inside, but I think having as much space as possible,
yeah,
inside, making it really bright, open plan as best as possible, whilst also trying to afford people some privacy, as much as privacy as one can get on a boat with 12 or 14 guys going across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
But, this is all about team building, and I think that it's gonna be really fun and exciting. It's also going to be really, really challenging at the same time for some people who are used to their own space.
I mean, we're going to have to deal with claustrophobia. Anybody who feels claustrophobic, and I'm one of them.
Do you struggle with claustrophobia?
Really tight spaces, yeah. Like if I'm earlier, before you came, I took that panel out where the skipper's bathroom was.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm kind of contorting myself to get in there. And there was a moment when I couldn't move, and I really, really didn't like it. It is going to be a lot less private than the boat was originally designed for.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like if you need because it's totally analog. Like you need really 5 people on it sailing it. So technically speaking, you could go away with 5 or 6 people on it, and then you would have a lot of privacy. But there's going to be 12 or even probably 14.
Apparently, you can sail the boat with 4 people.
Okay, so you could, in theory, have like nice holiday for 4 or 6 people, or a sailing trip.
If there's 12 of us, we can it'll either be quite challenging for 4 people at a time to be kind of running around and heaving various rigging, or and that's 4 times 3. We'll have 3 crews of 4, or we have 2 crews of 6.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I think might work better. I think it'll be a little less challenging having 6 people on deck at a time.
Yeah.
So that you can.
Well, I'm thinking 12 berths, 2 hammocks, with space for another 2 hammocks. So you could technically have like 16 people on it.
Yeah.
But sleeping 12 comfortably all at the same time. And I prefer hammocks to beds anyway. When you're on the sea as well, because you're your own gimbal. So. Yeah. Should we go to the pub? I'm really hungry.
You're really hungry?
I'm really hungry,
Longer. I should have given you half of it.
Yeah. I mean, it is complete carnage on the boat at the moment. It is like a scrap heap, because so much keeps coming out of it from below deck. But how long are we here for? Another 3 weeks?
We'll be here longer than that.
Longer than that. Okay, well that's good, because it gives more time here. Another month. Okay. Well, we do need, if you're watching and you've got skills and you've got time and you want to come and donate some time and help Christian on the boat, we need as many hands as possible to help rip stuff out.
I mean, to be honest, the ripping stage is kind of getting to its...
Yeah. Well, ripping stage, there's going to be...
it's the building stage afterwards that's going to require a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah. If anyone's out there into micro living and you've designed your own micro home, would be really, really helpful.
We'd love to hear your ideas.
If you could get in touch, because that would be amazing. Someone who's built and just been really clever with their space saving, because we've got to get 14 people and all their luggage and everything on this thing, and there's a lot of sort of 1980s design and not the best use of space, and we want to make it nice, bright, open plan with lots of storage. So hit us up.
And if you're watching this and you sympathise with our cause and you like what we're doing, it would be really appreciated if you followed us, shared the project with friends and family, and if you can donate, if you've got some spare cash that you'd like to donate to the project, then that would also be
donating. That would be really, really, really helpful.
Really helpful.
Or if you know anyone who's into boats, who's got deep pockets, who likes charitable causes, we're nearly registered as a non-profit. In fact, we're going to be. I think it's this week. We've been talking to an accountant from a company called Added Value, who specialise in charitable accountancy and non-profit accountancy. And we've had a wonderful woman called Katie Baker, who's got her own charity. They've been at Download Festival all weekend with that. and she is a charity advisor, and she's helping with the Articles of Association, basically. So, you know, we're doing it properly, and we hope that that inspires a bit of trust.